Well, hello there. Welcome aboard the good ship BGEE, going mostly solo, episode Lucky 13, which I have tentatively entitled The Nail Biter in Nashkel, where we will be going in here as soon as we have permission from the mine master here. There, between the last video and this one, there have been a few little off-screen shenanigans as I changed my mind again, and I did decide to get the longsword that I got from Grey Wolf identified. So it has quite a interesting story with it, but I'm just after this big huge damage stat and the to hit armor class 0 boost, because we need all the help that we can get. So I identified the Wander Frost as well, sold my old sword, and went to High Hedge to buy a few more potions of explosions, because you could never have too many fireballs, and I didn't really have money to buy any more arrows, so, but no, I won't say it, because, you know, I'll just jinx everything. But I have my little ring of infravision here which should help me not blunder into any packs of kobolds. And because our friend here, Harrison, the useless trainee stormtrooper, is so crap in combat, we're going to try and Obi-Wan our way through the mines and sneak around as much as possible, because we do have fairly good statistics in move silently and hide and shadow, so against kobolds, you know, this encounter is designed to be done with a level 1 party, with like 3 or 4 people. So if we spend more than 5 minutes running away from stuff, I just need to just completely forget about doing Cloakwood, because yeah, we're never going to make it, basically. So I will try and do something that I've never done before, which is master the art of the backstab, because I don't usually play Thief that often. As I mentioned in the siren hunting video, I'm basically crap at stealth mechanics. I always have been. Oh, okay, Harrison, you criticise me. All right, fine. We'll
want to take a look at me, mine?
We'll get going, and I'll stop talking for a moment. Okay, so I have been given permission to go into the pit of doom.
Stand away, citizen.
Okay then, so as Samuel L. Jackson says in
Not a problem.
Jurassic Park, hold on to your butts. So there are, I think,
I'm so
3 levels in the mine-ish. Yeah, I've heard awful stories about what's going on deeper in the mine. Little demons jumped out of the walls, and so is that another Roofy, or yeah, not the dog that belonged to the Pit Fiend or Balor Lord.
leave us be.
No,
There's much work to be done.
he is. We have to prefix him with minor to make sure we don't confuse him for the dog. There's not much to be gained from this dialogue. Yeah, demons looking like demons. Yeah, okay, fine, fair enough. There are things around, yeah, interactable objects, but you only need to loot them if you're desperate for cash, because it's all crap. And the minute you try and hit anything with it, it'll probably break because all the oil has been, all the iron's been contaminated. So there are miners around, and you can have a chat with them for some colour. This level is pretty pretty benign. There are a couple of kobolds wandering around the fringes. Hopefully nothing too difficult. I can't even hide in the shadows in a level 1 area. Maybe I just need to be out of sight of everybody. Ah, here we are. So I will continue with the obsessive quick saving because... Right. So he, with a bit of luck, he hasn't seen me, and if I just wander up behind him and twat him... Now he... Okay. I don't think that was actually a backstab. I mean, I have a backstab multiplier of +3, so... Yeah. 7 experience. Would have been embarrassing if I'd, you know, ended up needing to run away from that.
I think I'm coughing up blood.
Yeah, I've got nothing better to do. Yeah, I'm just here to sort out the iron crisis. Oh, okay, can I hide? No. Not enough shadows. Harrison, you really are the most useless thief in the entire world. I think maybe even the whole plains. Never mind. I mean, not even being able to kill a kobold with a single arrow when you're level 8 and a Thakau of 11. Good grief. So I suppose I should, you know, for the benefit of people who've never played this before, I should reveal the entire map, but there's not really that much to be gained here apart from a couple of hit points, XP points from the kobolds. So this is the ore that's been contaminated, and on the next level down we'll see how that happens, and there's a side quest associated with that. Yeah, there's nothing up here really. It might actually be quicker to play solo than with a party, because if you're, I mean, the first time I you know, came here, on the very first playthrough of this that I had, like, this little tiny area here took me about 3/4 of an hour because I was sending the thief ahead and looking for traps, and yeah, it took quite a while. So there's there's not much going on here, and 2 kobolds is not really terribly interesting. There are more in this area. I wonder if I should actually pick up some normal arrows, because arrow +1 on kobolds seems a bit extravagant, but I've never heard of a yipping demon. What? And there's 4 of them. They are definitely not worth a fireball. So my arrow of piercing is doing a good job of protecting me again, isn't it? Oh. I really am not... I have to keep remembering that I've turned off the auto attack. Because I don't want to run into trouble. Armor class of 0 and I've taken 20 damage from 4 kobolds. Dear oh dear. I better quick save because, yeah, I never know when I might encounter a Baldur Lord. What's he doing with a charm scroll? Not that I'm complaining, it's fairly valuable. Yeah, just a couple of box standard miners down here. So if we go up and to the right, left. Yeah, just goes to show that Harrison doesn't even know his arse from his elbow. So just get rid of all of the shadows. Because we don't like shadows. Because we can never hide in them. Right, so in here in this little staging area, we can give that miner his dagger. And there's, yeah, you can chat to the soldiers if you like, but they won't tell you anything terribly useful. Okay, 200 XP. Mm-hmm. Right. I am going to try not to rest or use any spells, potion type things until I really need them. Because I shouldn't really be needing to... That's more like it. 4 hit points. Seriously. Yeah, I shouldn't really need them against these piss weak enemies. But given Harrison's cataclysmic levels of ineptitude, I will still keep quick saving regularly. It's just as well I decided, you know, not to do a speed run, because that would have been fun. Yeah. So okay. This isn't actually the first time I've used this sword, because when I was doing my off-screen inventory management, I did get, as I was on my way into High Hedge, I got, you know, predictably waylaid by a couple of Flins, and yeah, who did me a ton of damage. That was a nice hit. Oh. So I got to finish them off with melee with my lovely new sword Varskone here. And actually on the way back to the mines, as I went through the area map transition, I got waylaid again on the way back south by another group of hobgoblins who joined the 6 hobgoblins who waylaid me, you know, midway through the last video. So there was like 12 hobgoblins, you know, and it's like, this game really doesn't like me, and it's like 12 to 1. I'm not even going to bother. I just ran for the area exit remarkably, I didn't actually take any damage. Hopefully on the screenshot for the video on the channel, you'll actually see the screenshot I took of that particular event. Okay, so down here is the exit, and in here there are a few more kobolds, which I guess I should kill, because you know that level is a long way away, and every little helps. So we'll come back here and sweep out. So the mines have quite a creepy atmosphere. I mean, it's the next level down is, yeah, it's full of traps and nasty little things that are a little bit more potent than kobolds. So we will maybe need to heal up a little bit in that area. But with a properly managed and coordinated party, even at kind of like level 1, 2, the first couple of levels in here in the mine really shouldn't give you any trouble. Is there another kobold down here, or just the guard? Yeah, just the guard. So all good so far, apart from the 20 damage. Oh my word, there's 2 of them. 3 of them. How on earth are these level 1 kobolds managing to hit armor class 0? 10 missile damage. Of course they roll critical hits as standard. And I can only do 2 damage.
I am not well at all.
I mean, that's just embarrassing, isn't it? What is wrong with you? There's 2 more kobolds down here. I think maybe I should just have run in at the start and just smack them with the longsword. Man, that is grim. That really is quite dreadful. And of course resting in here is actually not such a great idea. Right. So these guys will have a little potion which they're using to poison the ore, and we will take these to Thunderhammer in Baragost. For God's sake. Critical miss, Harrison. slain by kobolds. Oh no, there's another one. I really fear for Harrison when he gets to Cloakwood and he has to fight groups of Ettercaps and phase spiders. Alright, let's tidy up my inventory a little bit. So, yeah, this is the what's ailing the Sword Coast's iron production mines. I mean, how long is it actually going to take me to recover nearly 40 hit points resting? I don't want to use all those potions because I've it's just ridiculous. Right. I wonder if hiding in the shadows before you rest makes any difference about whether you get spotted or not. Oh. Well, we'll have to repeat that little test. 2 days. It's out of action for 2 days due to a handful of crappy little kobolds. Right, this is where I need to have my
With ease.
traps in. This is a ring that you can give back to a lady in Nashkel who will obviously be thrilled to hear that their husband has been killed. Oh, yeah. I was going to try that whole backstab thing, wasn't I? Maybe in this area we'll have a bit more luck. That's if we don't set off all the traps, despite having, you know, a fine traps skill value of 100. What? Is there something in his script that is turning that off? Fine traps. No, you should be finding traps when you're idle. Oh, the attack enemies is on. There's something weird going on here. So there's big trouble around here. Try not to step in any. Is it this side or is it this side? It's there. There we are. So we need to keep that on. Okay. Good grief. Should we do a hide in shadows failure count as well? It's supposed to. No. You It was really worth spending that 15,000 gold on this armor, wasn't it? So there are more down here. So I don't think backstab works with ranged weapons. Yeah. No, it doesn't. You know what? I almost made him run away. No. No. Even someone as monumentally crap as Harrison does not run away from 3 kobolds. He does, of course, you know, use his 17 intelligence to navigate the environment properly and negate the advantage of them using ranged weapons. There's definitely something wrong with this scripting, isn't there? He's supposed to have attack enemies on, and he just stands there doing nothing. Yeah. Actually, I don't need all of these arrows. Right. There are traps around here somewhere. Better quick save, because you never know, do you? Shall we try? Okay, we'll equip our melee weapon. And... no. Right. I thought you were able to detect traps while still when in stealth mode. If I do reach this next level, I definitely know where my points are going. Now that doesn't at all look like a trap, doesn't it? Oh yeah, this place is just crawling with kobolds. And as soon as I aggro one, I won't be able to stealth. Yeah. Okay, let's forget the whole backstab thing, at least for now. And just grab the XP. Come on, hit him. For once it wasn't me. I don't think there's anything particularly interesting in these chests, but as soon as we get rid of... Come on, Harrison, show me what you're made of. Yeah, just stand there, it's fine. I'm gonna have to have a word with Beamdog about this AI. Have I got the AI turned off? It's difficult to tell. Oh well. Well, that would explain why he's standing around doing nothing. If I've actually got the AI turned off. So, yeah, okay. It must have been turned off. needs slightly better contrast on the button. Actually, it's probably not fair for me to blame the developers, because I'm using a backlight on my monitor. Gold, yeah, need gold. That's great. Oh yeah, I'll take gemstones as well. Yeah, so there's kind of like ventilation holes in the back of my monitor, and the backlight seeps through and washes out the corner down here a little bit. So, okay. Yeah, okay. I'll against that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Against 8 kobolds at once, I think 4 hit points is an acceptable amount of damage. Okay. That also helps explain why the detect illusions kept, detect traps kept turning off. So. Okay, so there's a bridge across the ravine here, which has no less than 3 traps on it. But I'll mop up this side of the area first. I don't think there are any more traps. Famous last words. Let's have a look in the barrels. Nope. Alright. There are a few more kobolds around here, so we will give it a try. And of course he has friends. Apparently Harrison is a man of action, not a man of contemplation. Which, when we duel him to it's odd. Right, he has a bow, so let's get rid of him. So yeah, the fact he just fails his... Oh yeah, we haven't had one of those for a while. You wait 3 videos for a critical miss and then you get 2 at once. It's just like the buses in London. Three in a... Can you stop doing that, you useless bastard? Oh, I thought he was going to get 3 hits in a row. Okay. Lost... Another 4 hit points. Okay, we're definitely going to rest before we go down to the final level. Yes. Yeah. I'm just gonna charge him and his friends. Right. Right. How many actually have bows? So, yeah, come on, let's just aggro them all. Come on. Right, I need to Even kobolds can pose a bit of a threat in big packs like this. So I've just got to stop them pelting me with arrows. Anytime you'd like to hit him. Yeah, right. Alright, he also has a bow, so let's sort him out. Okay. Another critical miss. He has an armor class of -1. I still refuse to use potions in an area like this. Right, okay. Right, so that's this side of the bridge sorted out. It's worth a quick save, isn't it? Taking a bit of a hammering. But you will see why I am reluctant to use the good arrows and the spells against such pitiful enemies. Right. Because when we get to the bandit camp, Larswood, Peldvale and Cloakwood, yeah, these areas mean that we'll come up against multiple enemies at the same time. And at a much higher level than this, so that one of the mercenary groups, you know, they have like archers that fire arrows of ice, which are not quite as bad as the arrows of biting, but they still end up doing a lot of damage if you're not careful. So 30 hit points gone. Come here. Alright. I want ranged weapons for this little bit now, because there are some caverns down here, and even though it doesn't have any loot in here, it will give us a good indication of how well Harrison is going to do in Cloakwood, because there are some giant spiders in this cavern down here, and down here there's a ghoul or a ghast, and more of the inevitable kobolds. Can you imagine if I tried to solo this at level 3? Would have been carnage. Yeah, okay. Just going to keep... Oh, they all have swords. Alright, so we'll do them in order. Probably lose another 20 hit points. I mean, it says everything when you need to be fighting groups of kobolds to make yourself look moderately competent. Alright. So when we get to the kind of like the fourth level of, well, I suppose it's actually not technically in the mine anymore, but the kind of like the final section for this little part of the story. I'm not going to be taking any prisoners, and I will break out the good stuff. Right. So this is potentially a high risk strategy with a ghoul trying to backstab him, since with only half of my hit points, if he manages to hold person, we could be in a bit of trouble. But I'm speechless. He manages to... Oh, is this a scripting thing again? Did he see the... Yeah, he must have seen the enemy and just went, have it. So maybe because I don't... Maybe I need to turn that off to get the backstab to work. It's a shame there isn't a script for it. Okay. Learn all lessons, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna muck about with the ghoul, and because it's all scripted in here, and the only random encounters you'll have occur kind of like on rest. Will you fucking stop that? +2 arrows, magical bow, maximum range that I can actually engage at. No! Dear gods! No! What the... Okay, fall back. Yeah. Alright. Arguably a little bit of a waste of +2 arrows, but... Okay, one thing I need to remember for when we actually try and hit the guy who is in charge of the little operation down here. I don't think there's anything in here, is there? No. I have to remember that I've got this little charm creature spell. Right. Right. Just trying to remember the layout. So, that's a huge spider. They have a poisonous bite. And Cloakwood is filled with dozens of them. So if you play Ranger, where you can select a racial enemy, choose Giant Spider. It makes the whole Cloakwood area so much so much easier. And you really don't want them to get too close. If you watch some of the initial videos, there's a gnome in Friendly Arm Inn who she asks you to sort out her huge spider problem. Critical miss, because it's not a combat encounter without one. Yeah. If this was a sword spider, we'd probably be dead by now, because sword spiders are hasted. Fortunately, by the time we get to... oh, okay. Yeah, 270 XP. Is there a second one? I'm pausing and taking a deep breath and quick saving before I go down and find out, because I think there is. Yes, there is. As long as like another 3 don't come boiling out of this gap. That, more like it. So run down there. Yeah, I'm hoping I have the boots of speed before I have to tackle the giant spiders in Cloakwood, but I don't think you actually get them before then. I think you pick them up actually at the top of the Cloakwood mine. Right, so the exit to the final bit of this dungeon is down there, but for completeness there's a little area with more kobolds in it and a couple more traps and maybe a few goodies that we can sweep out. And then I will, before I do the final bit, I will recover these hit points and rest up for another 2 days. Because I have used my healing ability, haven't I? Right, take the money, sneak forward. So this particular area, this particular level of the mine, this is why it's a good idea to have a pretty skilled thief, especially in find traps, because otherwise you'll end up taking quite a lot of damage, which is not good for a low level party. No, there isn't any loot, if I'm recalling correctly. There's just a couple more kobolds. So like another 14, 20 experience to be had. I'm using +1 arrows. Takes 12 damage from kobold. From a short bow. That was a critical hit. That'd be why. I'm not sure those 7 experience points were worth the 12 damage. That's more like it. Are there traps on this one? Just wait a second or so. Well, I'm not walking back that way anyway, so... Alright. So there are more kobolds, and there are, I think, yeah, there are kobold commandos down here with fire arrows. I don't think I necessarily want to be taking those guys on with 22 hit points, do you? Yeah. I'm going to invest in a couple of these now. Because I think Mullahay, the guy in charge of this little operation, has a couple. So... yeah. Hide in shadows. And that's just a normal kobold. I don't want to rush across this gap because there may be traps, and while I'm in combat I can't hunt for them. Critical miss, Harrison. I mean, a critical miss on a kobold. I mean, it's not even a kobold commando. Oh, a little sleep. Oh, blindness. Oh yes, sleep's only half the eye. I can't save during combat. I'm still in combat. I'm just thinking about whether I want to use these final arrows. Yeah. I don't want to be exchanging fire too long, do I? Not after losing 40 hit points to ranged attacks. So there is a trap here, because it's a natural choke point. Is that another? Just a kobold. Okay. So from now on, I'm hoping to... Oh, so these guys got fire arrows, so... And I'm not rushing across there, because that's the trick. That's what they're hoping for you to do. Come on, braces of archery. Yeah, excellent. Alright. So, if I quickly save and eke forward... We'll want to find this trap before we... There may be a couple more... Oh, sure, this was trapped. Well, it's where I'd put one anyway. Right, and yes, stay well back. I almost walked into a trap. And there's a third one just there. Yeah. So let's disarm those. And they're connected to rods of magic missile or something, and they... And you saw how well I resisted magic missile when I was fighting Silky. Right, let's have a rest and hopefully not get disturbed by kobolds. Excellent. Right. here we go. I want +2. Like I said, not taking any prisoners here.
It will be done.
Because, well, maybe not. Actually, I just run in there and hit him with the sword. I'm not using a +2 arrow on a kobold. I will use a +2. No, well, I'll get rid of the +1 arrows. There's a little bunch of kobolds. So if I just in this kind of like area of the map here, this is kind of like the chamber where the head honcho Mullahay is. So he's a half-orc cleric. I think another disciple of Cyric, like Bacillus, who we got that electrical warhammer from. And there's a little trap ambush laid outside the entrance to his little hideaway. And there are a couple of kobold commandos who are going to fire some lovely arrows of fire at me. So there he is. So he's priority number 1, because I don't really want to get hit by fire arrows, since they're +2 and do that fire damage as well. Aha! Maybe a couple more. So the game is one heck of a lot easier when you played it as much as I have. So there's I think there's another ghoul around here. So another 170 XP. So no. Yeah, when you finish a stack of ammunition, sometimes it switches you directly to your next melee weapon. Yeah, turning your back on someone armed with +2 arrows is not a good idea, is it? You go in there. Do I have the lore? Yes, I do. So, we'll save those for a special occasion and get rid of those. Right. So, yeah, there isn't anything around here. We've already found the ghast. But if you want to get rid of the darkness. So the texturing on this, almost makes it look like a big huge lump of iron ore. So, but this is where we need to save, and we meet more kobolds. And the guy who's in charge of the operation to disrupt the supply of iron, because they're trying to stoke tensions between Baldur's Gate and Norm and cause a war. Right, so Mullahay is in here. I'm just going to reveal the area. So ironically, despite the fact the half-orc in here is like a really big enemy, this is actually a fairly safe place to rest. Yeah. Run in and twat him. Yeah. I'll talk about Zan in a second. So once you've actually got rid of the enemies, you've turned the auto attack off, Ian, because you wanted to try the backstab. Speaking of backstabs, you pretty much have to kill Mullahay. There may be a dialogue option where you can not actually do it and just threaten him into cooperating with you, but I want the XP, so I'm gonna just try and kill him as quickly and efficiently as possible. And if I can actually backstab him and master this stealth technique, which I've never thus far been able to do, we might get a good cheap hit on him. So Zan, he's an elven spellcaster, and he has a very morose and depressing personality, so I've never actually really used him. He's very unique amongst the spellcasters because he actually has something called a Moonblade, which is an enchanted sword that only he can use. But I don't really know how good a spellcaster he is, because just being around him is depressing. Come on. Can I do a hide in shadows? Now you're going to have to do this the hard way. Right, before we do this, I'll just try again one last time. No, it's not going to work, is it? Yeah, when you initiate combat against Mullahay, I suppose I could get a cheap hit in with a fireball. And actually just try and smash him before he knows what's actually hit him. But I do have this option. Because when you aggro him, he will call in a whole load of kobolds and skeletons, which is really why I wanted to recharge this, and grab a couple of potions. So actually, if I'm able to charm him, I can actually use him to help me fight the kobolds. And if he ends up taking a load of damage from the trash mobs, I don't really care. So, yeah. So, what shall I do? I will...
What? How you get in here?
I will spam a fireball in there and immediately turn him hostile. He made his save, of course he did. Right, so that should mean that he's hostile now, and even though he's hostile, he will initiate dialogue to spawn this huge amount of trash mobs. So even though it sounds like a really bad idea, I'm going to kind of like rush in here, because then I can target fireballs at the back of the mob and hopefully torch them all without me collecting any collateral damage. So I will try and get at the back, and then I'll just spam fireballs and... Oh, he's still not hostile. That's interesting. So maybe I can actually just damage him and really get him hardly any hit points left, talk to him, initiate the encounter, and then just oh, okay. So you can try and fool him, but no. Help, minions, help. Okay, let's try this before he gets a hit in. Right. Charmed, I'm sure. So he can go over there. And I can basically use him as an expendable meat shield. What are you doing? I've never actually charmed him before. I didn't realise. Yeah. Smash.
Not a problem.
Okay. It's fireball time. Sorry, that was satisfying. What has 2 thumbs and is about to be dead? That half-orc. That half-orc. Oh my word. He's not even wearing terribly good armor. Yeah, I mean, it's only chainmail. That ring is good for a druid or cleric, and these, I think, are boots of electrical resistance. That I hand in to get a nice amount of money, and these letters are quite useful for kicking off the next stage of the story.
The terrorized folk of Nashkel. But you remain uneasy. While the half-orc may indeed have caused the evils that befell the mine, the shortage of iron is too widespread to be his doing alone. His letters confirm your suspicions, and though they give little indication as to where his cohorts are hiding, they may have links to the bandits that currently plague the coastway.
Okay, so the plot thickens. So we now need to go back to Beregost and talk to this... I'll copy that note, yeah. So this Transig, we can go to Felpo's Inn and pump him with fireballs for information. He is a mage, he is a spellcaster, so, you know, we need to be careful. But we'll do that in the next video. I'm quite pleasantly surprised that I have enough lore skill to be able to memorize these. So when you get a cleric or a druid, being able to memorize 4 extra spells, 1 each in the first 4 levels, that's really, really handy. And you get it for free. I can't use it. Can I identify those? No. Okay. So I'll need to identify that back at the Temple of Helm, and that I need to actually redeem the quest reward. Bonzo. Right, I just want to crack this safe. Safe. Chest. It's not trapped. And I get my healing potions back. I get a chunk of gold, a potion of insulation, a longsword +1, and a load of spells, and this is Zan's Moonblade, which I need to stash these where they belong, and then I'll be able to pick it up, give it back to him, and then send him on his way, because I don't like spending time around people who just bring you down. I'll re-equip that. Grab the sword. Don't think there's anything else in here I want. So that's worth a quick save.
I thank you for my freedom, friends, for I have languished in these dismal vaults too long.
Yeah. So he has little voice cues, just moaning about how useless and hopeless everything is. So look, just go away. Wait, I don't need you. Right. So there are two ways out of the actual area. And back to the world.
With ease.
Either we can go back up through the mines, which is a long way, or we can go around here, which is the short way. There are a couple of oozes. They're kind of like jelly monsters that I think need magical weapons to... No, maybe not. No, it's this mustard jellies rather than oozes that need yeah, grey ooze. Sounds charming, doesn't it? So I will just stay at a nice distance and take it down with arrows. And there's another one just in front of the exit. So they're worth a fair bit of experience. So I can't remember if those ranged attacks give you disease or something. Yeah, hooray! Alright, so that was the Nashkel Mines and the exit is here. We will save that for the start of the next video because we will get dumped out into a new area where we've not been yet, and there is a very challenging ambush waiting for us at the exit, which will be something to look forward to at the beginning of the next video. But it is pretty much time for me to take a break, have some dinner, and episode 13 turned out to be fairly lucky in the end, didn't it? Here's to episode 14. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you next time.